Okay guys, it's time to ditch those automatic transmissions, because they're terrible. That's right, they're horrible. You should all be driving stick shifts. Buckle up guys, because I'm Rob, and this is Riding with Rob. Okay guys, so before we start today, I just want to remind you all that Monday's our live stream on Facebook. If you go over to the All Terrain Outlaws page on Facebook, check us out where you'll see me and Marty live every Monday night. And if you have any questions about today's video, previous videos, that's a place that you guys can interact with us live and get some real answers and real responses. It's a lot of fun, so make sure you join us over there. Also check us out on Instagram and all that fun stuff. Here you should like and subscribe and comment and all that good stuff. Support us, let us help us grow, and we can do more fun stuff. I'm super excited about the things we got coming up, so make sure you subscribe to stay tuned for that stuff, guys. So alright, today we're talking about stick shift cars. You may all be wondering why I'm not actually driving right now. Well, because here in the north it is very cold. There's a lot of ice and a lot of snow, and it's been a little scary out on the roads lately, so I didn't want to do any video recording this week live on the road like I normally do. So instead we're going to do a quick video today. And what we're talking about is stick shift cars. Now, there's a lot of stigma that goes into stick shift cars, and I think a lot of you guys should understand that a lot of that is just, well, it's kind of old wives' tales. It's really not true. It's really not factual. And driving a stick shift car is a great experience, and I love doing it every single day. I do drive stick. I don't know if a lot of you guys have noticed that in these videos when I am driving, but I do drive a stick shift car. So first and foremost, I'd like to say that stick shifts in general, not all, but the vast majority of stick shifts are lighter than your automatic transmissions. They are more fuel efficient than most automatic transmissions. Now, I know a lot of you guys say, well, what about, you know, the 8-speed, 10 speeds and all that? Okay, yes, I will give you that. Or if you're driving, like I say, a 4-speed trans, but that has more to do with gear ratios. If you were to put a 4-speed automatic versus a 4-speed manual, or a 5-speed, you know, vice versa, you'll find it the vast majority of the time it is way more fuel efficient to drive a stick shift, and that's because you're getting more power down to the wheels. There's not that slush box, is what they call it, a torque converter, which basically spins fluid and creates pressure, and that's how the transmission shifts, and you end up losing somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 25% of your power, depending on how well the automatic transmission is built. Another thing, a lot of people say that, oh, well, I'm not racing the car. Why would I drive stick shift? I'm not racing it. Well, the vast majority of racing occurs with automatic transmissions. You take a look at drag racing, you got your 2-speed, 3-speed automatic transmissions. You take a look at like rally, they have those synchronized automatic transmissions. Like the new GTRs have the dual clutch automatic transmissions, and those are actually more for racing because the shifts happen faster, and the driver is able to concentrate more on his speed and things like that. And look, a lot of those guys use paddle shifters or that weird lever thing. I was doing this earlier. If you ever seen rally cars, they grab that weird lever thing, right? And it's sort of kind of manual, but not really. It's still an automatic transmission. The actual stick shifts are reserved for I don't know, autocross, I guess. It'd be, you know, the person's preference, or road course racing, that kind of stuff, grand touring stuff. A lot of those guys will drive stick shift because you can make more power, and because you can use the engine to brake, which is actually great in normal driving circumstances. I can actually take my car from 5th gear down to 4th gear and use the engine, the deceleration of the engine to actually help the car stop. Another thing I want to bring up is traffic. A lot of people complain and say that driving a stick shift in traffic is a pain in the butt, right? Well, listen, when was the last time you drove in traffic and you were like, oh, this is great, I'm really enjoying myself in traffic today? Never. You've never said that. No one's ever said that. Nobody likes driving in traffic. Traffic will always be a pain in the butt. And I would argue that in the right circumstances, a stick shift is actually much better to drive in traffic. The reason being is that I can, in really low speed traffic, I can put it in 1st gear, I can let out the clutch, and I can idle in the right lane and not actually have to do anything. The cars in front of me will start and give me a large gap and stop, and then my gap will shorten. It's just about I get up to them and guess what? They're going again. In moderate speed, I can do it in 2nd and 3rd gear, and it's really not that big of a deal. Also, I'd like to point out that newer cars like mine are much easier to drive stick shift. You have things like hill assist, you have the RPMs, they actually kind of float there for a little bit as you're shifting up through gears and down through gears. So rev matching is much easier to do. You don't have to get on the gas as quickly. And hill assist is great. For those of you who don't know what hill assist is, basically what I would do, and I guess I'm just going to do it because it's easier to do it while I'm talking about it, I'd clutch in with the brake, right? And I'd put it in first gear. Now, old school manual transmissions meant that I would have to let off the clutch and get it to where it's in that engagement point and start revving up the engine to kind of hold it on the hill. I don't have to do that with this. I let off the brake and it stays right there on the hill until I start actually propelling myself forward. It's a really great little system, and all newer cars have this. It's great. It's absolutely awesome. Look, guys, there's a lot to driving stick shift as far as advantages go, but it's really not all that complicated. And once you get the hang of it, which should only take you a couple hours, really, you'll find out that it's not hard. B, it's very easy to do, and you know what? You're actually going to get more horsepower out of your engine. You're going to get more fuel efficiency out of your engine, and you know what? You're going to be less distracted driving, using your cell phones, eating, that sort of thing, because you actually have to concentrate on what's going on the road ahead of you to make sure that you're in the correct gear for the situation that's coming up. Now look, once you get on the highway and you're up in 5th gear, look, this isn't Fast and Furious. It's not every 5 seconds I don't have, you know, I'm not driving a semi-truck is what I'm saying, you know. I don't have to shift every 10 seconds. A lot of times, you know, when you pull out into traffic and you got to pull out real fast, I don't have to shift from 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. I can go 1st, 2nd, okay, I'm at the speed limit, 5th. And a lot of people don't realize that, a lot of people don't understand that, and because so many people just don't drive manual transmissions anymore in the United States, the theories behind it, the skill of doing it, I guess you would say, is kind of lost on a lot of people. And it's a little bit of a shame, because now you're seeing cars like the new Supra and the new GTR, and they're coming out and they don't have a manual transmission option. You know, previously we had like when Mitsubishi finally released the Rally Art Lancer, and it was actually all-wheel drive and turbo, like we said it needed to be, similar to how Subaru had doing their WRX, and you know, before it got into the STI range for years, where it was all-wheel drive and turbocharged, also just not as fast, right? And they only allowed that to be in a dual clutch. Now, dual clutches are great as far as if you have to choose an automatic, those are probably the best. But you lose that driving feel, and it's the feel of actually driving your car. You're not just go, stop, go, stop. You actually are interacting with the car. You're part of the mechanical process of driving, and it's extremely enjoyable. It's a lot of fun. Well, look, guys, that just about wraps it up for today, so make sure you leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure you join us over at the All Terrain Outlaws Facebook page for Monday night's live stream, where we will be discussing stick shift cars, as well as some other stuff. So if you guys have any questions about this video, last video, comments, whatever, be sure to join us there. It's a lot of fun. We have a good time every Monday night. And guys, I'm Rob, and as always, enjoy your drive.